Parker here. Today we're going to talk about something a lot of people, especially conservatives, don't want to hear. America's military is not as ready as you think. We've thrown more money, more manpower, and more tech at the problem, and somehow the problem keeps getting worse. It's time to break a few sacred cows. Section 1: Tactical Success, Strategic Failure. America wins battles, but we lose wars. From the Tet Offensive in Vietnam to the aftermath of the Gulf War, we've tactically crushed our enemies but failed to secure lasting strategic victories. Winning a fight isn't the same as winning the war. Casualty counts don't measure victory. It's measured by what the world looks like after the shooting stops. Section 2: Size doesn't equal strength. People often think that military strength is primarily about size: more soldiers, more tanks, and bigger budgets. But it's not. It's about composition. Our military is bloated with support staff, contractors, and admin layers. Our combat arms, the people who fight, are a minority. Modern war no longer rewards size, it rewards agility, specialization, and speed. Ukraine's conflict proved that. The dog's size doesn't matter if the dog can't catch the rabbit. Section 2.5: Worshipping a socialist sacred cow. Here's the uncomfortable truth: the US military is one of the most socialist institutions in the federal government. Salaries, housing, food, healthcare, education, all state provided or state controlled. Freedom of movement, severely limited. Career advancement, decided by bureaucracy, not competition. It's a centrally planned, government run command economy. And yet conservatives, who claim to love free markets and small government, treat the military like a sacred cow. They won't criticize it, even when the structure mirrors everything they say they hate. You can't fix what you're not willing to see. Section 3: Spend it or lose it. Inside the military, there's a toxic incentive structure: spend it or lose it. Units scramble to burn through budgets at the end of the fiscal year, not on fuel, ammo, or combat gear, but on office furniture and nonsense. Because if they don't spend it, their funding gets cut the next year. It's not about readiness, it's about keeping the gravy train rolling. Section 4: Deployment over victory. Today's military isn't structured to win wars, it's structured to deploy. Train, deploy, return, whether the job is done or not. Victory isn't the goal, rotation is. Every deployment feeds careers, contracts, and budgets. If winning disrupts that machine, then winning becomes the problem. Section 5: We're not ready for a real war. We've mastered slow burn wars, but a real industrial war? We're not ready. We don't have the factories, supply chains, or the ammo. We're struggling to supply a proxy war in Ukraine. Now imagine facing a peer adversary. We'd be caught flat footed. Section 6: Accountability without fear. During World War II, ineffective officers were replaced and reassigned to positions where they were better suited. Today, one wrong move can end your career. They've adjusted, and now officers avoid risk, even necessary risk. Avoiding risk can be prudent, but sometimes in war, risk is a necessity, and we've been punishing it out of our military for decades. Section 7: The Age and Innovation Gap. World War II commanders were in their early 30s. Today's are pushing 40 or more. It's not the age, it's the attitude. Younger officers adapt. Older ones manage from a safe distance, with an eye on retirement, not victory. Section 8: Industry runs the show. It used to be the Army designs, industry builds. Now, contractors design, lobby, and sell, and the military buys. We don't field the best gear, we field the best connected gear. Section 9: The family burden. Today's military supports a massive dependent population: spouses, kids, and benefits. That's not a knock on families, it's just math. In a total war, every dependent adds strain. World War II didn't carry that burden. Now, it would slow us down fast. Section 10: Divorce and Readiness. Another problem yesteryear's military didn't have to deal with, at least not at the scale we see today, is divorce. Not only does it break apart families, but it also drains morale, money, and focus. Custody battles at home bleed into combat performance abroad. You can't win overseas if you're losing at home. Section 11: Fix it now or lose later. This isn't a spending problem, it's a design problem. We need to rebuild from the ground up. Here are just some of the many changes that could be made. Merge branches. Fold the Air Force back into the Army as the Army Air Corps and make the Marine Corps the combat arms of the Navy. Slash bureaucracy. Make every rank accountable for results. Bring weapons design back to the Ordnance Corps. Field what we need, not what's lobbied. If you're a retiring officer, you get a pension or you get to work for a contractor. No double dipping. Reward internal innovation. Incentivize sharp ideas. Close bases that enable lazy allies. Use the military for civil infrastructure like Rome did. Tighten the budget on purpose. Make results the funding metric. Section 12. The volunteer trade-off. The all-volunteer force made endless war possible. No national sacrifice, no skin in the game. Sure, conscription had flaws, but it made leaders think twice. Today, they don't even think once. I'm not saying switch to the draft right now, but understand that it wasn't all bad, just like the all-volunteer military we have now isn't all good. Section 12.5. The draft will come back. If a real war breaks out, not a proxy war or a police action, the draft will come back. And not just for 18-year-olds. Men up to 45 are already in the law. If you think you're too old, too special, or too important, think again. The country won't ask for volunteers. It'll demand bodies. You can ignore the war, but war won't ignore you. Final thoughts. America still has the best people in uniform, but it won't matter if the system around them stays broken. If we don't fix it now, the next war we lose won't be a headline. It'll be our last war. This is Anvil Hammer Forge. Let's get to work.